when the black community marched in Selma, Alabama. You stand there and complain to me you complain about being thirsty. You stand there and complain about not hearing lovers being sad. That's how you stand with us today. Here, we've got former Senator Alfredo Gutierrez is going to come up here.
Thank you, thank you. Let me talk just for a second about the Greek, and very briefly about the history of this country. I think that you all know this country was founded by white men who had property to defend themselves and their property and to assault others in the process and obtain more property. And in the history of this country, each and every change has been a change towards inclusion. And those white men had to ultimately invite white men without property into the room to make that decision. And ultimately they had to invite women into the room. And then they invited black people. And each time they extended an invitation, they pretended as if though it came from inside themselves, from some thoughtful realization, some step towards equality. But each time they extended an invitation, it's because we tore the door shut. So we all are here today, and we are here the day after, a week after, a great celebration for this country, a celebration where in fact we can say that we have torn away chains that have symbolically held us as a people and as a nation. And we can celebrate that moment. But we have to recognize as we celebrate that moment that that was a victory. Hate lives still.
That's true.
Hate still lives in this state, in this country. I'm a Catholic.
True.
Let me talk to you a bit about my bishop, and then I'll be quiet. A bit about my bishop. This church, this Catholic church in this community is growing and thriving because thousands upon thousands of Mexicans like me keep that church alive. And this past November, we faced a horrible challenge. A horrible challenge. There is a sheriff who runs an active campaign to and to deport us. Keep this, just this one thought in mind. 43,000 children were deported from this country without their parents. They were deported in cages because they fit cages. They were deported in shackles. I'm talking about 8 and 9 and 10-year-olds. They were deported in this country. And that bishop said not a word. About all those raids that have occurred and will occur tomorrow, that bishop said not a word. What he chose to do instead was to use all of the resources and influence of the church to oppress you. That's what he chose to do. To oppress you. I want to share something with you. That church has been around for 2,000 years. It will outlive this bigot. It will outlive this bigot, and so will you. Remember the history of this country. Each step has been a step towards inclusion, and no invitation ever went out willfully. it was because we banged the door down.
That's right.
It was